question gets asked is, why are people using fentanyl when they know how deadly it is? The answer is pretty easy. It's because they don't know they're doing it.
An extremely dangerous drug is being tracked to East Tennessee, and a crackdown is coming. Synthetic opioids, including fentanyl, kill more Americans than any other kind of drug.
You can see just 3 milligrams can be deadly. That's it compared to a penny, not even the size of Lincoln's face. The District Attorney General's office has reported 12 suspected overdose deaths just this month in Knox County alone. That brings the total for the year to 165. You can see in all of last year, we saw just under 300.
To understand what these drugs are, why they are so deadly, and how they are getting into our neighborhoods, we turn to 10 News anchor Daniel Sexton.
If numbers don't lie, these numbers show a terrifying trend. From 2015 to 2016, the number of deaths in Knox and Anderson counties from synthetic opioids doubled. Since then, Sergeant Josh Schaefer says it's only gotten worse.
It's the big threat, and it's real time. The folks that are selling it don't know what it is, and the folks that are using it don't know what it is most of the time. They don't know until it's too late.
The CDC reports some of these analog versions of fentanyl can be anywhere from 4 to 100 times stronger than the already lethal drug. To find out exactly what synthetic opioids are, we went to Bellew Drugs.
Fentanyl is very strong. To make it any stronger would be dangerous.
Pharmacist Brandon Locke says the difference between a regular opioid and a synthetic opioid comes down to origin. Traditional opioids are derived from the poppy plant opium. Synthetic opioids are made using chemicals that trigger the same receptors that opium does. Fentanyl itself is a synthetic opiate created for medicinal use. And the analogs were made by altering the chemical makeup of fentanyl, usually for a stronger effect on the body. Law enforcement is tracking many of the analogs hitting East Tennessee to as far as labs in Asia. Schaefer says he's glad there's now a national program fighting the threat. And with about 7 different analogs in the region, he isn't surprised Knox County made the list.
Especially if you count fentanyl and the fentanyl analogs, a large percentage of the deaths, we see that present.
In Knoxville, Daniel Sexton, 10 News.
Another note, Sergeant Schaefer says East Tennessee has seen these analogs earlier and more frequently than most other parts of the United States.
Knoxville police will hold a support group for families who lost loved ones to the drug epidemic on Friday. The group looks to help families deal with their loss and show them they are not alone. 2 of the coordinators are mothers who have lost sons to the drug crisis. The group will meet from 6 until 8 on Friday evening in the city courtroom at KPD's safety building.
If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, we have a list of resources online at WBIR.com. Just go to the menu at the top of the screen, click on the Features tab, then scroll down and choose od-epidemic. That will take you to the od-epidemic page at WBIR.com.
And later this month, we have a way for you to safely get rid of your prescription meds you don't need. We are teaming up with the Metro Drug Coalition for a drug take back. It is Friday, July 20th from noon until 6. Just pull into WBIR's lower parking lot.